Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. English is my passion. I'm Yati. So I feel like it's been ages that I haven't filmed myself and put my videos on YouTube because guess what? 2 weeks ago, I got infected with the coronavirus, but fortunately, it wasn't that severe and intense that I was able to survive and make it through. So here I am. I'm back on my feet and making a new video for you. So let's jump in. I personally love focusing on one thing at a time because I figure that it's much more effective compared to like working on a lot of things at the same time. For example, as I've mentioned in my videos, I try to improve my English speaking and listening skills together because I believe that they're inseparable. But I didn't try to improve everything like English speaking, listening, vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar all together. So firstly, I enhanced English speaking and listening skills, then pronunciation, and now vocabulary and writing because I'm not able to boost a lot of skills at once. And these days, I'm working on my vocabulary skills. By setting up a 2 hour study schedule only for it. And this video will be more like a vocabulary study vlog, less like me sitting and saying random things that are on my mind. So let's get started. So now I'm learning new words and expression from this book, Practical Everyday English, but I don't have the actual paper edition of it, so I'm gonna add like what it looks like here. So, and you might think that it's very traditional to learn vocabulary words through vocabulary books, but according to my experience, like it's pretty effective because like since English, like learning English basically is a lifelong process, I barely feel accomplished because there's always something new to learn. But when I read books or when I learn something from books, after I finish the whole book, I really feel accomplished and I really love it because it can keep me motivated to practice like every single day and to study regularly. So when I found this series, I was intrigued by the titles at first. And for your information, advanced vocabulary doesn't mean like literary or academic words that are hardly used in everyday life. It's more like discovering new ways to say the same thing differently so that you don't sound boring and you can avoid repetition. And I love learning synonyms and antonyms and phrasal verbs and idioms to express the same, to describe the same situation in different ways because at the end of the day, it's all about colloquial expressions and conversational stuff, not about like academic or literary words as aforementioned. So I'd say this series can teach me what I'm willing to learn. I'm studying at least 10 words from this book every single day because I always prefer quality over quantity. And in this book, the author explains everything in detail. I feel like I assume that he is a detail-oriented person because there's a lot of information to consume in every single word. So I feel like I need to take some time to let them all sink in and to digest all the information. So let's study together. Guys, I just can't stop falling in love with this book, Practical Everyday English. I'm gonna try to. I'm so sorry for background. I'm gonna try to finish the whole book. The whole series. Actually, there are 4 books in the series. Practical Everyday English. Hi, I don't remember the names. Fluent Everyday English and the rest. I'm gonna try to accomplish. If you found the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way life changes when in love, yeah. I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see, yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should to go in front of someone in a queue or in a waiting list without permission. Still finishing one, yeah, yeah. Memory lane isn't that too far away from our hearts, yeah, yeah. The ones we keep. Now it's time to learn conversational speaking patterns and expressions through cake. Hope you guys already know that I'm a huge fan of cake because it can provide a lot of, I mean, so many like conversational patterns and like English expressions for everyday life, and that's what I'm focusing on right now. And I use Google Keep and Google Docs to take notes and to save everything that I've learned like in an organized way. Books aren't my faves any longer because I can access Google Keep both on my phone and my computer, and it's pretty convenient to write down everything that I'd like to remember. And sometimes instead of cake, I watch some random videos on YouTube like intensively and learn new expressions from them. And I tend to spend around 30 minutes exploring and learning new expressions and phrases from cake. So let's start. Look at it. He's handsome. He's handsome. Leo. Leo when he was young. Do it for a minute. Hang on to it for a minute. So another way of learning vocabulary words is reading fiction or non-fiction books that are appealing to you. And in the present, I'm reading this book. Can you see it? The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, I suppose. Hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. You hear the title and you might assume that it's about doing things right away without procrastinating and taking action like without without putting anything off, but no. No. It's not about overcoming procrastination. It's about like staying in the moment, being present minded, and some spiritual stuff. And that's the topic that I find absorbing during these days. Because like I've been wanting to explore this topic like mindfulness and spirit after watching a TED Talk video about it. So yeah, it's a good idea to learn words and expressions concerning the topics that you find interesting. Let's talk about intensive reading a bit. So it's, as its name implies, is reading books intensively. So I've always been weak in like English reading because on one hand, like I'd like to read books intensively and like comprehend everything in detail, including every new word and concept in every chapter. But on the other hand, I feel like I won't be able to enjoy the process of reading to the fullest if I read them intensively. But eventually, I made up my mind to read English books intensively and try to learn every new word and like concept without skipping anything. If I'd like to read and enjoy, I'm gonna read Burmese novels because these are pretty easy to comprehend compared to English books. Let's read about 10 pages today. So recently I've learned a new technique that's practical and effective. So I can't recall the exact meaning of it, but it's like the amount of time you spend revising should be equal to the amount of time you spend learning new things. And I suppose it's possible. I mean, it's acceptable because like revising what we've learned like regularly can help us retain everything in the long term, and we'll be able to reduce the frustration caused when we can't retrieve the information that we want instantly. I set aside around an hour a day to revise and review some information that seems to be like still fresh in my memory and that needs my attention. So how do I revise? Some people use Anki or like some, how can I say, space repetition software for revision, but I personally don't like Anki, and that's why I just go through my Google Docs a bit and make up a lot of example sentences and scenarios using the expressions that I have to review. And on my phone, I have a Longman dictionary application, and it's a good one to store all words that I've learned in the favorite category, and I just randomly click on a word in that category and try to remember it, but if I have trouble doing so, I relearn it to make sure that I fully understand it. And the next way of revising is writing conversations. So it's pretty different from writing essays. So I have a book that consists of a lot of scenarios, actually for English speaking practice, but I apply them to writing conversations using as many colloquial expressions as I can. Sometimes I also write some topics that I feel like writing to improve my writing and vocabulary skills drastically, and I also intended to begin like letter writing because it's highly recommended by Maki. And again, I spend the same amount of time learning and reviewing, and I also use new words like intentionally in my writing and speaking practice so that I can become more familiar with them. And today I'm gonna write the topic life experience. So I use both my notebooks and note-taking applications to save my pieces of writing. So let's do it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and get some ideas to learn a vocabulary in effective ways, and I made up my mind to expand my vocabulary knowledge within, I don't know, 3 to 4 months. And if there's any question, let me know in the comments below. Plus, subscribe to my channel to see more videos like this. So, bye!